In the heart of North Texas, the small town of Denton holds a chilling secret, an eerie legend that has haunted the area for decades. This is the story of the Goatman, a terrifying figure said to stalk the old Alton Bridge, also known by locals as Goatman's Bridge. The legend tells of a creature, half man and half goat, who roams the area seeking revenge on those who wronged him in life. The origins of this legend are steeped in tragedy and injustice, rooted in the true horrors of lynchings that plagued Texas in the 1930s. At the center of this tale is a man named Oscar Washburn, a black goat farmer who earned respect and recognition for his honest business dealing in meat, cheese, and other products. But in a time when racial hatred simmered beneath the surface of society, Washburn's success made him a target. One fateful night in August 1938, a group of Klansmen, driven by hatred and envy, kidnapped Washburn from his home near the old Alton Bridge. They dragged him to the bridge, placed a noose around his neck, and threw him over the side. But when they looked down to see his lifeless body, they found the noose empty, with Washburn nowhere to be found. In a rage, they returned to his home and brutally murdered his family. Since that night, the legend of the Goatman has grown, with the locals claiming that the spirit of Oscar Washburn haunts the bridge and the surrounding woods. It is said that if you cross the bridge at night without headlights, as the Klansmen did, you will be met by the Goatman himself, seeking vengeance for the wrongs done to him and his family. The old Alton Bridge, once a simple passage for travelers, has become a place of fear and fascination, drawing in those who are brave or foolish enough to seek out the ghostly presence that lingers there. This is just the beginning of the tale, a dark introduction to a legend that has left a mark on the history and folklore of Texas. As we delve deeper into the story, we will uncover more about the haunted history of Goatman's Bridge and the eerie encounters that have kept this urban legend alive for generations. As the years passed, the legend of the Goatman grew, weaving itself into the very fabric of the local community. Old Alton Bridge, once a simple iron structure, became synonymous with fear and the supernatural. Locals began to share stories of strange occurrences and ghostly sightings around the bridge, each tale adding to the eerie reputation of the area. The Goatman was no longer just a tragic figure. He had become a symbol of vengeance and a terrifying reminder of the horrors that had taken place on that bridge. The bridge itself became a focal point for those intrigued by the paranormal. Stories of the Goatman began to surface in greater numbers, with people claiming to have encountered the ghostly figure late at night. Some said they saw a pair of glowing red eyes staring at them from the darkness, while others heard the sound of hooves clattering on the bridge's wooden planks. The most chilling tales spoke of a large, shadowy figure with the body of a man and the head of a goat, standing silently in the middle of the bridge, blocking the path of anyone who dared to cross. As word spread, the legend of the Goatman attracted thrill seekers and ghost hunters alike. People from all over began to visit Old Alton Bridge, hoping to catch a glimpse of the supernatural being. The bridge's reputation as a haunted site grew, and it wasn't long before it became known as one of the most haunted places in Texas. The combination of the bridge's dark history and the tales of ghostly encounters gave the legend an undeniable air of authenticity, making it a prime location for those interested in the paranormal. But the Goatman wasn't just a ghost story told around campfires. For the people of Denton and the surrounding areas, the legend was a very real part of their heritage, a haunting reminder of the past. The bridge, with its weathered planks and rusted iron, stood as a silent witness to the atrocities committed there. And as the story of the Goatman continued to be passed down, from generation to generation, the line between legend and reality began to blur, making the haunting presence of the Goatman all the more believable. In this way, the Goatman became more than just a tale of revenge. He became a guardian of the bridge, a spectral sentinel, ensuring that the horrors of the past would not be forgotten. The haunted reputation of Goatman's Bridge solidified its place in Texas folklore, drawing in curious visitors and reminding locals of the dark history that still lingers in the shadows of the old iron structure. As we continue this journey, we will explore the specific locations tied to the legend and the chilling encounters that have occurred at Goatman's Bridge, where the line between the living and the dead seems to disappear. Old Alton Bridge, now better known as Goatman's Bridge, is the epicenter of the Goatman legend. But it's not just the bridge itself that carries the weight of the story. The surrounding areas, dense with trees and winding trails, are also steeped in eerie tales that make this part of Texas a hotspot for paranormal activity. The narrow, overgrown paths that lead to the bridge seem to carry an unnatural stillness, as if the land itself remembers the horrors that took place there. One of the most infamous locations is the bridge itself, particularly when approached from the old dirt road that winds through the forest. Visitors report an overwhelming sense of dread as they near the bridge, often describing the feeling of being watched. The rusted iron structure, with its creaking wooden planks, adds to the unnerving atmosphere. Those who dare to cross the bridge at night, especially without headlights, have recounted terrifying encounters. Some claim to have seen the shadowy figure of the Goatman standing in the middle of the bridge, his glowing red eyes piercing the darkness. Others have heard disembodied voices, whispering warnings to turn back. But the bridge isn't the only place where the Goatman is said to appear. The surrounding woods, thick with brush and twisted trees, are also home to the legend. Hikers have reported seeing the Goatman lurking among the trees, watching them with his eerie gaze. The sound of hooves crunching on the gravel path, or the distant bleating of a goat, often precedes these sightings. In some cases, visitors have heard the chilling cry of a man in pain echoing through the woods, only to find no one there when they investigate. One particularly frightening encounter occurred near the creek bed beneath the bridge. A group of friends, intrigued by the legend, decided to explore the area late one night. As they walked along the creek, they noticed a strange fog rolling in, despite the clear night sky. The air grew cold, and an uneasy feeling settled over them. Suddenly, they heard the sound of hooves behind them. When they turned around, they were met with the sight of a large, shadowy figure standing on the opposite bank of the creek. The figure, with the body of a man and the head of a goat, stared at them for a moment before disappearing into the mist. Terrified, the group fled the area and vowed never to return. Another well-known spot is a clearing near the bridge, where it's said that the Goatman's presence is strongest. People have reported seeing strange lights hovering above the clearing at night, accompanied by the smell of burning wood, as if a fire had recently been extinguished. The clearing, once used for gatherings and possibly rituals, is now avoided by most locals, who claim that the Goatman appears there on moonless nights, pacing back and forth as if guarding something precious. These specific locations, with their dark history and unsettling encounters, make Goatman's Bridge a place where the line between legend and reality seems to blur. The stories of those who have experienced the Goatman firsthand are enough to make even the most skeptical person think twice before venturing near Old Alton Bridge after dark. As we continue, we'll delve further into more real haunted encounters and stories that have solidified the legend of the Goatman as one of the most terrifying urban legends in Texas. As the legend of the Goatman has grown, so too have the number of eerie encounters that have been reported at Goatman's Bridge and its surrounding areas. These stories, passed down through generations and whispered among locals, have cemented the Goatman as a haunting presence in Texas folklore. Each account adds another layer of fear to the already chilling reputation of the area. One of the most unsettling encounters involves a group of paranormal investigators who visited the bridge in the early 2000s. Armed with cameras, audio recorders, and other equipment, they hoped to capture evidence of the supernatural. As they set up their gear on the bridge, the night was calm, with only the sounds of the nearby creek and rustling leaves filling the air. But as midnight approached, the atmosphere shifted. The temperature dropped suddenly, and a thick, unnatural fog began to roll in, obscuring their view. The team reported hearing distant, muffled voices coming from the woods, though they could see no one around. Then the sound of hooves clattering on the bridge's wooden planks echoed through the mist. One investigator felt a sudden push from behind, nearly knocking him off the bridge. When they reviewed their footage later, they discovered that one of their cameras had captured a brief glimpse of a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes standing at the far end of the bridge. The team left the area shaken, convinced that they had come face to face with the Goatman. Another harrowing experience involved a young couple who decided to explore the bridge one summer night. They had heard the stories, but were skeptical and eager to debunk the myths. As they walked across the bridge, they joked about the legend, dismissing it as nothing more than a spooky tale. But their laughter quickly turned to fear when they reached the middle of the bridge. The air grew heavy, and an overwhelming sense of dread washed over them. They suddenly heard a deep, guttural growl that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Paralyzed with fear, they saw a large, shadowy figure emerge from the darkness, blocking their path. The figure appeared to have the horns of a goat and the body of a man. Without thinking, they turned and ran back the way they had come, not stopping until they were safely in their car. They later described the experience as the most terrifying moment of their lives. Locals, too, have their own chilling tales. An older man who had lived in the area his whole life recounted a story from his youth. He and his friends had dared each other to spend the night near the bridge, hoping to prove their bravery. They set up camp in the woods, not far from the bridge, and as the night wore on, they began to hear strange noises. Branches snapping, distant footsteps, and the faint sound of what seemed like laughter. As they huddled together in fear, they saw a pair of glowing red eyes staring at them from the darkness. The eyes moved closer, and the sound of hooves grew louder. Terrified, the boys fled, leaving their belongings behind. The man said that he never went near the bridge again after that night. One of the most persistent stories is that of a woman who visited the bridge in search of answers. Her son had gone missing in the area years earlier, and she believed the Goatman was responsible. Desperate for closure, she went to the bridge alone one night, calling out to her son. She claimed that as she stood on the bridge, she heard his voice, faint and distant, calling back to her from the woods. But when she ventured into the trees, she was met with silence. As she turned to leave, she saw a figure standing in the shadows, watching her. The figure was tall, with horns atop its head, and it radiated a sense of malevolence. She ran back to her car, convinced that she had encountered the Goatman, and that he had taken her son. These stories, whether passed down as warnings or experienced firsthand, have only strengthened the Goatman's grip on the imagination of those who live near Goatman's Bridge. The fear and unease that the legend inspires are very real, making Old Alton Bridge a place where the past and present collide in a way that is as haunting as it is unforgettable. As we conclude this journey, we'll reflect on what makes the legend of the Goatman endure and why it continues to captivate those who dare to explore its dark history. The story of the Goatman at Old Alton Bridge has endured for generations, becoming more than just a local legend. It's a symbol of the dark history and unresolved fears that linger in the region. The haunting tale of Oscar Washburn and the terrifying encounters reported over the years speak to the human tendency to seek explanations for the unexplainable, to personify our deepest fears in the form of monsters and spirits. As the years have passed, the legend of the Goatman has taken on a life of its own. It has become a rite of passage for thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts who visit the bridge in hopes of experiencing something otherworldly. Some go out of curiosity, others out of disbelief. But nearly everyone who ventures to Old Alton Bridge leaves with a story to tell. Whether it's a fleeting shadow, seen out of the corner of the eye, a sudden chill in the air, or the unsettling feeling of being watched. What makes the Goatman legend so compelling is not just the ghostly figure itself, but the layers of history and emotion that underlie the tale. The tragic story of Oscar Washburn and his family, the terror of those who claim to have encountered the Goatman, and the eerie atmosphere of the bridge all contribute to a sense of unease that's hard to shake. The legend taps into the universal fear of the unknown and the lingering sense of injustice from the past, reminding us that some wounds never fully heal. Old Alton Bridge stands today as both a relic of a bygone era and a gateway to the unknown. Though no longer used for its original purpose, it remains a place where the past and present intersect, where history and legend blur together. The dense woods, the dark waters of Hickory Creek, and the isolated location all add to the bridge's mystique, making it a place where reality and the supernatural seem to coexist. For those who believe, the Goatman is a restless spirit, forever bound to the bridge where he met his tragic end, seeking revenge or perhaps justice. For others, the legend is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dark chapters in our history that we must never forget. And for some, it's simply a ghost story, an entertaining and eerie tale to share around a campfire. Yet whether one believes in the Goatman or not, there's no denying the powerful hold that the legend has on those who hear it. The fear it inspires is real, rooted in both the horrors of the past and the mysteries of the unknown. The Goatman's Bridge remains a place of fascination and dread, where the lines between myth and reality are forever blurred. As we conclude this exploration of the Goatman legend, we are left with a sense of awe at how stories like these endure. They remind us that the past is never truly gone, that it lingers in the places we live, in the tales we tell, and in the fears we cannot quite escape. Whether the Goatman is real or imagined, his story lives on, haunting the bridge and the imaginations of all who dare to cross it. The Driskill Hotel stands as one of Austin, Texas's most iconic landmarks. Built in 1886, this majestic Romanesque building has been a symbol of luxury and grandeur for over a century. With its grand architecture and rich history, the Driskill has long been a favorite destination for travelers from all over the world. The hotel's stunning brick facade and elegant interiors have hosted countless guests, from European tourists to wedding parties. But there's more to the Driskill Hotel than meets the eye. Beneath its elegant exterior lies a dark and eerie history that has earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the United States. The hotel was founded by Jesse Driskill, a wealthy cattle baron who made his fortune during the Civil War by supplying beef to the Confederate Army. Though his success was undeniable, the wealth that built the Driskill was often called blood money, tainted by the suffering of war. As fate would have it, Jesse Driskill's luck didn't last long. Shortly after the hotel opened, he lost it in a high-stakes poker game, a loss that broke his spirit. It's said that his sorrow was so great that his presence still lingers in the hotel, unable to let go of the luxurious property he once called his own. His portrait, which still hangs in the lobby, serves as a haunting reminder of the man who built the Driskill with such grand ambitions. Over the years, guests and staff have reported strange occurrences throughout the hotel. Eerie sounds echo through its ornate corridors, and many claim to have seen ghostly apparitions, including the ghost of Jesse Driskill himself. The hotel's haunted reputation has only grown with time, making it a magnet for paranormal enthusiasts and curious visitors alike. In the following parts, we'll delve deeper into the haunted history of the Driskill Hotel, exploring the stories of the spirits that are said to roam its halls, and the chilling encounters that have left guests with more than just memories of a luxurious stay. The Driskill Hotel's reputation as a haunted location has only intensified over the years. From its very beginning, the hotel seemed destined to be more than just a place of luxury. it would become a magnet for the supernatural. The tragic and turbulent history of its founder, Jesse Driskill, set the stage for the eerie events that would come to define the hotel. Jesse Driskill's story is one of ambition, success, and ultimate heartbreak. After amassing his fortune during the Civil War, Driskill decided to build Austin's most opulent hotel, sparing no expense to create a place that would stand as a testament to his wealth and vision. But his dreams were quickly dashed when he lost the hotel in a poker game shortly after its grand opening. The loss devastated him, and many believe that his spirit remains tied to the hotel, unable to move on from the heartbreak of losing his prized creation. This sense of lingering sorrow is said to be a major reason why the Driskill has become so notoriously haunted. Over the years, countless guests have reported feeling an unsettling presence in the hotel, as if the walls themselves are imbued with the pain and loss of its founder. The hotel's ornate corridors and luxurious rooms, which were once symbols of wealth and power, now seem to echo with the tormented cries of the past. The Driskills' haunted history is not limited to Jesse Driskill alone. As the years passed, other tragic events added to the hotel's eerie atmosphere. One of the most famous stories involves a young girl who died after falling down the grand staircase. This tragic accident is believed to be the source of one of the hotel's most active spirits. Guests and staff have reported hearing the faint sound of a ball bouncing down the stairs, accompanied by the giggles of a child, a chilling reminder of the life that was lost. Another tale that adds to the Driskills' haunted reputation is that of a bride who tragically took her own life in room 329 after her fiancé called off their wedding. The heartbroken woman's ghost is said to haunt the room to this day, with guests reporting strange occurrences such as cold spots, unexplained noises, and the eerie feeling of being watched. These stories, along with many others, have cemented the Driskill Hotel's status as a hub of paranormal activity. It's a place where the past and present seem to intertwine, where the echoes of history are felt not just in the architecture and decor, but in the very air itself. In the next part, we'll explore the specific locations within the hotel that are said to be the most haunted and the ghosts that are rumored to reside there. The Driskill Hotel is not just a place where history was made, it's a place where history seems to linger, especially in its most haunted corners. The hotel is filled with stories of ghostly encounters that have left visitors with chills. Let's explore some of the specific places within the hotel where these spirits are said to roam. One of the most infamous rooms in the Driskill is room 329. It's here that the spirit of a distraught bride is said to reside. In the early 1990s, a woman checked into this room after her fiancé called off their wedding. Devastated, she went on a shopping spree, spending thousands of dollars on luxury items, which she carefully arranged in her room. On the third day, she took her own life, leaving behind a tragic legacy. Guests staying in room 329 have reported seeing her ghost, often dressed in her wedding gown, wandering the halls with shopping bags in hand, or standing by the window, staring out into the night. Another eerie location is the grand staircase, where the ghost of a young girl has been seen and heard. This girl, the daughter of a senator, tragically fell to her death while playing with a ball. Guests have reported hearing the sound of a ball bouncing down the stairs, followed by the faint laughter of a child. Some have even seen her ghost, a small figure, dressed in white, at the top of the stairs or near the painting on the 5th floor, which many believe depicts her. The 5th floor also holds another ghostly presence, Peter Lawless, a former railroad ticket agent who lived in the hotel for over 30 years. After his death, his spirit is said to have remained in the hotel. Guests and staff have reported seeing a well-dressed man with dark hair and a pocket watch, often stepping out of the elevator or simply appearing in their rooms, only to vanish moments later. These are just a few of the spirits that are said to haunt the Driskill Hotel, each one adding another layer of mystery and fear to its already eerie atmosphere. The hotel's ghostly inhabitants seem to be tied to the places where their lives took a tragic turn, forever bound to the halls of the Driskill. The Driskill Hotel's haunted reputation doesn't stop at just a few rooms and staircases. Throughout the building, there are more spots where the paranormal seems to thrive, with spirits that have become as much a part of the hotel's character as its historic charm. One of the most famous hauntings involves the spirit of Colonel Jesse Driskill himself, the hotel's founder, who lost the property in a poker game shortly after it opened, is said to still roam the halls of the grand hotel he built. His ghost has been spotted in various parts of the hotel, but most commonly in his favorite room, the one that overlooks 6th Street and Brazos. Guests have reported waking up in the middle of the night to the smell of cigar smoke, only to see a man standing by the window, looking out at the city. When they turn on the light, the figure vanishes, leaving only the faint scent of cigars in the air. Some say that Driskill is unable to leave the place he was so passionate about, forever tied to the hotel that bears his name. Another haunting involves a painting on the 5th floor, known as the Love Letter. The painting depicts a young girl holding a bouquet of flowers and a letter. It's believed to be haunted by the spirit of Samantha Houston, the senator's daughter who died in the hotel. People walking by the painting have reported feeling an eerie presence, as if they're being watched. Some even claim that the eyes of the girl in the painting seem to follow them as they move. Others have felt a cold breeze or a sudden sense of dread when passing by, only to find nothing unusual when they look around. The ballroom is another area where ghostly activity has been reported. This grand space, where many elegant events have taken place, is said to be haunted by the spirits of former guests who refuse to leave. One of the most notable apparitions is that of a woman in a Victorian-era dress who has been seen dancing alone in the ballroom late at night. Some have also reported hearing the sound of music and laughter, as if a party is still going on, even when the room is empty. The spirit of Lyndon B. Johnson, the 36th President of the United States, and his wife, Lady Bird Johnson, are also said to linger in the hotel. The couple had their first date in the Driskill's dining room and spent many special occasions there. Guests have reported seeing their reflections in mirrors or catching glimpses of them out of the corner of their eyes. These sightings often occur in the ballroom or near the dining room where they once dined. These stories add to the mystique of the Driskill Hotel, making it a place where the past is never truly gone. The spirits that haunt its halls are a reminder of the hotel's rich, and sometimes tragic, history, keeping the legend of the Driskill alive for those who dare to visit. The Driskill Hotel stands as a grand monument to Austin's history, but it's the stories of the spirits that refuse to leave that give it its enduring legacy. Over the years, these ghostly tales have woven themselves into the fabric of the hotel, attracting those who are curious, brave, or simply in search of a unique experience. Visitors come from around the world, not just for the luxury and charm of the Driskill, but also to catch a glimpse of the supernatural. The hotel's reputation as one of the most haunted places in the United States only grows stronger with each new account of an unexplained encounter. Whether it's the sight of a lone figure in a mirror, the sound of a child's laughter in an empty hallway, or the scent of a long extinguished cigar, the ghosts of the Driskill continue to make their presence known. But what draws these spirits to remain in the hotel? Some say it's the emotional ties they had to the place in life, like Colonel Jesse Driskill, who poured his heart and fortune into the hotel, or Samantha Houston, the young girl whose life was tragically cut short within its walls. Others believe that the Driskills' turbulent history, steeped in both wealth and loss, has left an indelible mark on the building, one that the spirits cannot escape. Despite its haunted history, the Driskill remains a beloved part of Austin. It's a place where the past and present coexist, where the elegance of a bygone era meets the modern world, and where the spirits of the past continue to whisper their stories. For those who visit, The Driskill offers not just a stay in a historic hotel, but a chance to experience something otherworldly, to connect with the echoes of those who walked its halls long before. As the years go by, the Driskill's ghostly tales will likely continue to captivate and intrigue. The stories may evolve, and new encounters may be added to the hotel's lore, but one thing is certain. The Driskill Hotel will always be a place where history is alive, both in the memories of the living and the presence of the dead. Whether you come for the history, the luxury, or the ghosts, the Driskill promises an experience that you won't soon forget. A true Austin landmark where the past is never far away. The Hotel Galvez, a majestic structure that has stood on the shores of Galveston, Texas, since 1911, is more than just a luxurious retreat. Known as the Queen of the Gulf, this grand hotel has a rich history intertwined with stories of tragedy, loss, and the paranormal. Its stunning architecture and opulent decor have attracted countless guests over the decades, including celebrities, politicians, and even presidents. However, behind its elegant facade lies a darker, more mysterious side that has earned the Hotel Galvez a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Texas. The haunted history of the Galvez Hotel begins with the devastation of the Great Storm of 1900, a catastrophic hurricane that claimed the lives of thousands of Galveston residents. The hotel was built as a symbol of hope and resilience in the wake of this tragedy, but it seems that some of the souls lost in the storm never left the island. Over the years, guests and staff alike have reported eerie encounters with ghostly apparitions, unexplained noises, and strange occurrences that defy logical explanation. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the Galvez is that of Audra, a young bride-to-be who met a tragic end in the 1950s. Audra's story is one of love, loss, and heartbreak, a tale that has been passed down through the generations and continues to captivate those who hear it. But Audra is not the only spirit said to roam the halls of this historic hotel. From the playful ghosts of children to the solemn figure of a nun, the Hotel Galvez is home to a variety of spectral inhabitants, each with their own story to tell. As we delve deeper into the haunted history of the Hotel Galvez, we will explore the stories of these restless spirits, the eerie events that have taken place within its walls, and the chilling experiences of those who have dared to stay the night. Welcome to the haunted Galvez Hotel, where the past lingers in the shadows, and the line between the living and the dead is hauntingly thin. The Galvez Hotel's reputation as a haunted location has only grown over the years, fueled by countless stories from guests, staff, and paranormal investigators. Its grandeur and beauty are undeniable, but so too are the chilling tales of ghostly encounters that have made the hotel a hotspot for those fascinated by the supernatural. The combination of its storied past and the tragic events that have unfolded within its walls has cemented the Galvez's place among the most haunted places in America. One of the key factors contributing to the hotel's haunted reputation is its connection to the Great Storm of 1900, the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. The storm devastated Galveston, leaving behind a trail of destruction and a staggering death toll. Many believe that the spirits of those who perished in the storm linger in the area, unable or unwilling to move on. The Galvez, built as a beacon of hope after the storm, may have inadvertently become a refuge for these restless souls. Over the decades, guests have reported experiencing inexplicable phenomena during their stays at the hotel. It's not uncommon for visitors to hear disembodied voices, feel sudden drops in temperature, or see objects move on their own. Some guests have even claimed to see full-bodied apparitions, ranging from a young girl in old-fashioned clothing to a man in a bowler hat, tipping his hat as he stands near a French door in the West Loggia. These encounters are so vivid that those who witness them are often left shaken, convinced they've come face to face with something otherworldly. The staff at the Galvez have their own stories to tell, many of which revolve around room 501, This room, once occupied by the ill-fated bride-to-be Audra, has become infamous for its strange occurrences. Guests who stay in room 501 often report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness or despair, as if they are sharing the space with a deeply troubled spirit. Some have heard soft sobbing near the bed, while others have witnessed the room key inexplicably stop working, with the scanner displaying the eerie message, expired 1955. The year Audra is said to have died. The stories of ghostly encounters are not limited to a single room. Throughout the hotel, from the grand ballroom to the quiet corners of the spa, there are whispers of paranormal activity. Certain spirits, like the little girl who haunts the area outside the spa, are described in such detail by witnesses that it's as if they've stepped out of the past and into the present. These stories have been passed down over the years, adding to the mystique and allure of the hotel. As word of these hauntings has spread, the Hotel Galvez has become a destination for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, eager to experience the paranormal firsthand. The hotel's haunted reputation, combined with its rich history and stunning architecture, makes it a unique and compelling place to visit. But for those who check in, hoping for a glimpse of the other side, the experience can be both thrilling and terrifying, leaving them to wonder just how many of the hotel's guests never truly leave. The Galvez Hotel is not just known for its luxurious accommodations and rich history. It's also famous for the specific spots within the hotel where ghostly encounters are most likely to occur. These haunted locations, each with its own chilling backstory, have become central to the hotel's eerie reputation. One of the most famous haunted spots in the hotel is room 501. This room is where Audra, the lovelorn bride, is said to have stayed while awaiting her fiancé's return. After hearing the devastating and ultimately incorrect news that his ship had sunk, she tragically took her own life in the west turret, where she had spent so many hours watching for him. Since her death, guests who stay in room 501 have reported a variety of unsettling experiences. Some have felt a cold, unseen presence in the room, as if Audra herself is still there, mourning her lost love. Others have heard soft crying or the sound of someone pacing the floor, as if replaying the heartbreak that led to her demise. One of the most unnerving reports involves the bed. Several guests have claimed they felt the pressure of someone sitting on the bed beside them, though no one else was in the room. The strange occurrences extend beyond just feelings. The room key often malfunctions, displaying a message that had expired in 1955, the year of Audra's death. Another frequently haunted area is the West Loggia, where a photograph from 1911 captures what many believe to be the ghost of a gentleman tipping his bowler hat in front of a French door. This ghostly figure has been seen by numerous guests who describe him in vivid detail. He is often noted for his polite manner, appearing briefly before vanishing without a trace. His presence seems to be tied to the hotel's early days, as if he is a former guest who never checked out. The West Loggia, with its old-world charm and beautiful architecture, only adds to the sense that this spirit belongs to another time. The spa area of the hotel is another hotbed of paranormal activity, particularly when it comes to the ghost of a little girl. Described as being about 3 feet tall, with blonde pigtails tied with ribbons, she wears a white dress and black Mary Jane shoes, a style popular in the early 20th century. This childlike spirit is often seen playing just outside the spa, and those who encounter her say she seems innocent and playful, though her sudden appearance can be startling. Sometimes she whispers the word ice cream to passers-by, a clue to her origins, as the spa now occupies the space where the hotel's soda fountain and ice cream parlor once stood. Even more eerie are the small, child-sized handprints that frequently appear on the glass spa door. Despite being wiped away multiple times a day, they always reappear, leaving staff puzzled and guests unnerved. Perhaps the most visually striking ghost is the young girl who has been seen bouncing a red ball through the hotel's hallways. This apparition has been reported by guests, staff, and even workmen, all of whom describe the same thing: a girl bouncing a ball that makes no sound as it hits the floor. Her form slowly fades as she walks, seemingly unaware of those around her. This ghostly image is often linked to the hotel's past, possibly connected to the many children who lived and died in Galveston during the city's tumultuous history. Then there's the portrait of Bernardo de Galvez, the hotel's namesake, which hangs on the second-floor landing. Many guests have noted that the eyes in the portrait seem to follow them as they walk by, an unsettling feeling that has led to numerous stories about the painting being haunted. Some have tried to photograph the portrait, only to find that their photos come out distorted, with a skull-shaped glare where the face should be. Staff members suggest that asking the portrait for permission before taking a photo might prevent this eerie phenomenon, but the lingering unease remains. These specific haunted locations within the Hotel Galvez are just a few of the many spots where guests and staff have experienced the paranormal. Each area has its own stories, its own spirits, and together, they create a tapestry of ghostly activity that has made the hotel a legendary destination for those intrigued by the unknown. As the stories of haunted encounters continue to circulate, the Hotel Galvez has only grown in its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. Many guests come specifically to experience the supernatural, hoping for a glimpse of the unexplained. Over the years, the hotel has seen countless eerie occurrences, with both guests and staff sharing their unsettling experiences. One of the most persistent ghostly presences is that of a woman in white, often seen wandering the halls late at night. This spectral figure is believed to be Audra, still searching for her lost fiancé. She's been spotted near the elevators, as if she's waiting to descend to the lobby to meet her love. Those who encounter her describe a chilling sensation in the air, and some have even reported the faint smell of perfume as she passes by. Audra's tragic story seems to have bound her to the hotel, her spirit unable to find peace. The hotel's kitchen is another area where paranormal activity is frequently reported. Late at night, when the kitchen is supposed to be empty, staff members have heard the sound of pots and pans clanging together, as if someone is cooking an invisible meal. Doors open and close on their own, and lights flicker mysteriously. Some employees have even seen the apparition of a man dressed in an old-fashioned chef's uniform, working away at the stove. When approached, he vanishes into thin air, leaving behind only the lingering scent of baked bread. In the hotel's grand ballroom, the echoes of the past are particularly strong. Many guests have reported hearing the faint strains of old-time music, as if a phantom orchestra is playing a tune from decades gone by. Some have even seen couples dressed in period clothing, dancing gracefully across the floor before disappearing into the shadows. These ghostly revelers seem to be reliving the glamorous galas that once filled the ballroom with life and laughter. The mysterious phenomena extend to the hotel's elevators as well. Guests have reported the elevators moving between floors on their own, stopping at random levels with no one inside. Some have described the unsettling feeling of being watched while inside the elevator, as if an unseen presence is accompanying them on their ride. These strange occurrences often coincide with other paranormal activity, making the elevators another focal point of the hotel's haunted reputation. Even the hotel's pool area is not immune to ghostly activity. Lifeguards and guests have reported seeing ripples in the water when no one is swimming, and some have felt a cold, ghostly hand brush against them while lounging by the pool. The eerie sensation of being watched is common, and many believe that spirits of those who perished in the 1900 hurricane still linger near the water, forever tied to the site of their tragic end. The Hotel Galvez has embraced its haunted history, offering ghost tours and even hosting paranormal investigations. These tours take guests through the most haunted areas of the hotel, sharing stories of the spirits that reside within its walls. Many participants leave with their own tales of strange encounters, further solidifying the hotel's legacy as one of the most haunted places in America. But it's not just the stories that make the Hotel Galvez a paranormal landmark. It's the overwhelming consistency of the experiences. From unexplained noises and ghostly apparitions to the persistent feeling of being watched, the hotel's ghostly residents seem determined to make their presence known. For many, the Hotel Galvez is more than just a place to stay. It's a doorway to the past, where the line between the living and the dead is blurred, and the echoes of history are felt at every turn. As the years have passed, the Hotel Galvez has solidified its reputation as not only a historical landmark, but also one of the most haunted places in America. The tales of its ghostly residents continue to captivate both believers and skeptics, drawing visitors from around the world who are eager to experience its supernatural side. The hotel's rich history and paranormal legacy have become inseparable, making it a unique destination where the past and present coexist in eerie harmony. For many, the allure of the Hotel Galvez lies in its ability to connect guests with the stories of those who once walked its halls. The spirits that linger within the hotel are not just remnants of history, they are a living part of its narrative, reminding us of the tragedies and triumphs that have shaped its legacy. From the heartbroken spirit of Audra to the mysterious figures that roam the ballroom, each ghostly encounter adds another layer to the hotel's haunted history. The Hotel Galvez has embraced its status as a paranormal hotspot, offering guests the chance to explore its haunted past through ghost tours and special events. These experiences allow visitors to delve deeper into the hotel's history, uncovering the stories of those who never left. For some, these encounters serve as a reminder of the hotel's resilience, standing strong against the forces of nature and time, while for others, they offer a thrilling brush with the unknown. But beyond the ghost stories and haunted legends, the Hotel Galvez remains a symbol of Galveston's enduring spirit. It has weathered the storms of history, from devastating hurricanes to the passage of time, and emerged as a beacon of the island's rich cultural heritage. Its grandeur and elegance continue to inspire awe, while its haunted reputation adds an element of mystery and intrigue that few other places can match. As the Hotel Galvez looks to the future, it carries with it the weight of its past, both the light and the dark. It stands as a testament to the lives that were lived within its walls, the moments of joy and sorrow that have left an indelible mark on its history. Whether you visit to relax by the pool, enjoy a luxurious stay, or seek out a ghostly encounter, the Hotel Galvez offers an experience like no other, where history and the paranormal come together to create a truly unforgettable journey. In the end, the Hotel Galvez is more than just a haunted hotel. It is a living, breathing piece of Galveston's history. Its ghostly inhabitants serve as a reminder that the past is never truly gone, and that the stories of those who came before us continue to echo through time. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the powerful presence of history within the walls of the Hotel Galvez, a presence that will continue to captivate and mystify for generations to come.